Liam had always loved mountains. The tall peaks, the cold wind, and the smell of pine made him feel alive. Every weekend he carried a small backpack with water, snacks, and his notebook. He liked to walk alone, away from towns, cars, and noise. Nature was his friend, and he enjoyed listening to the wind whisper through the trees and the birds singing in the morning. One Friday morning, Liam woke up early. The sky was a soft blue and the sun was just beginning to rise over the hills. He packed his backpack carefully, making sure he had enough water and some sandwiches. He wore his favorite hiking shoes and a warm jacket, even though the day promised to be sunny. He felt excitement buzzing in his chest. Today, he decided to take a trail he had never tried before. The new trail was narrow and rocky. Small streams crossed the path and Liam had to jump carefully over them. Sometimes the path disappeared among tall grass or bushes, and he had to push his way through. The higher he climbed, the cooler the air became. The mountains seemed bigger than usual, their peaks sharp against the sky. Liam felt a mix of calm and thrill. He loved these moments when it felt like he was the only person in the world. After walking for nearly 2 hours, Liam noticed something strange. Between the trees, a small structure appeared. He stopped and stared. A wooden cabin stood quietly in a small clearing. Its roof was covered with green moss and the wooden walls were dark and weathered by time. Liam had hiked in this area many times, but he had never seen this cabin. It was as if it had appeared out of nowhere. Curiosity pulled him forward. He approached the cabin slowly. The windows reflected the sunlight and the door was slightly open. Liam paused for a moment and listened. There was no sound except the wind and the distant call of a bird. He pushed the door gently and it creaked loudly. Inside the cabin was dusty. The floor had leaves blown in from outside and cobwebs hung from the corners. The smell of old wood filled the air. Liam walked carefully inside. The cabin was small with only a few pieces of old furniture. A wooden table stood in one corner, and a chair was tipped over on the floor. The place looked abandoned, but something about it felt unusual. His eyes scanned the room and landed on a loose floorboard near the table. Liam knelt down and pushed it aside. Beneath it, he saw a metal handle hidden in the shadows. His heart raced. He pulled the handle and a hidden staircase appeared. It led downward into darkness. Liam's hands shook slightly, but he felt a strong need to see what was below. He took out his flashlight, turned it on, and stepped carefully down the stairs. The air grew colder as he descended and the smell changed. It was metallic and faintly sweet. At the bottom, Liam's flashlight revealed something incredible. The walls were lined with steel boxes and shelves held stacks of gold bars, rare coins, and glittering jewels. Diamonds, emeralds, rubies, and gold coins reflected the light, making the room shine. Liam could hardly believe his eyes. He whispered softly to himself, "This must be over $100 million. He walked slowly, careful not to touch anything at first. Each step echoed in the empty room. He touched a gold bar gently. It was heavier than he expected. He opened a small box filled with coins. Each coin had an intricate design, and some looked like they belonged to old kingdoms he had read about in history books. Liam realized that this vault had been hidden for decades, maybe longer. While he examined the treasures, a thought struck him. How did this place remain hidden? Who had built it and why? The cabin above gave no clue. There were no signs of recent activity. No footprints and no tools. It seemed like a secret meant to be lost forever. Liam felt a mix of awe and worry. He knew that such a place could bring attention he did not want. Suddenly, a sound came from above. A branch snapped near the cabin. Liam froze. His mind raced. Someone else was here. He could not see them, but they could see him. He held his breath and listened. The sound came again, closer this time. Liam realized he needed to be careful. Whoever was outside could be dangerous or curious about the same hidden treasure. He decided to move quietly. He examined the vault more. One shelf had stacks of paper wrapped in cloth. Liam opened one carefully. Inside were old maps, letters, and documents. They looked valuable in history, not money. Some maps showed mountains, rivers, and villages that did not exist anymore. Liam felt amazed. This vault was not just about wealth. It was a story waiting to be discovered. Liam noticed something else. A small box on a pedestal stood in the center of the room. It was different from the others. It was polished, almost new, and had a strange symbol on top. His fingers trembled as he opened it. Inside was a golden key. Liam had no idea what it unlocked, but it felt important. He put it in his pocket, careful not to make noise. He thought about what to do next. The sun was still high, but he could not stay hidden forever. He needed a plan. He also wondered if he should tell someone or keep it a secret. The vault was amazing, but it could change his life completely. Liam knew he had to be careful with such a discovery. The sound outside came again. This time it was footsteps approaching the cabin. Liam held his breath and hid behind a shelf. He watched the shadows through a small gap. A person appeared at the door. The stranger was tall, wearing a dark jacket, and looked around carefully. Liam could not hear their voice, but their movements suggested they were looking for something. The stranger stepped inside the cabin. Liam stayed still, hoping they would not find the hidden staircase. The person looked around, paused at the table, and then shook their head. They seemed frustrated and left the cabin, closing the door carefully behind them. Liam waited a few minutes to make sure the stranger did not return. He felt a rush of relief, but also a new sense of excitement. He had discovered something that no one else seemed to know about. The mountains had given him a secret. Liam climbed back up the hidden staircase and closed the floorboard. He sat on the edge of the cabin and looked at the forest. Birds flew over the trees and the wind whispered in the branches. It was quiet again, just like before. Liam knew his life was about to change. He had found a vault hidden in the mountains, filled with treasures worth more than he could imagine, but he also knew he had to be careful. The mountains had secrets, and now he was part of them. He stood up, brushed off his jacket, and decided to return home. Tomorrow he would come back with a plan. As he walked down the trail, he felt a mix of fear and excitement. The cabin remained hidden among the trees, as if waiting for him. Liam could not stop thinking about the treasures, the golden key, and the mysterious maps. Something told him that this adventure was only the beginning. The mountains had more stories to tell, and he was ready to listen. The sun was lower in the sky now, painting the mountains in gold. Liam took a deep breath of the fresh air and smiled. He had discovered something amazing today. It was a secret that belonged to the mountains, but now it belonged to him as well. The next morning, Liam woke up early. His mind was full of the hidden vault. He could not stop thinking about the gold, the coins, and the maps. The golden key weighed in his pocket, reminding him of the mystery waiting in the cabin. Liam had never found anything like this before, and he knew he had to be careful. The mountains were full of secrets, and some were not meant for everyone. After breakfast, Liam sat at his small desk and opened his notebook. He drew a map of the path he had taken yesterday, marking the streams, rocks, and trees that had guided him. He also wrote down his observations about the cabin. He wanted to return, but he needed a plan. He could not rush into the mountains without thinking. Liam decided to pack more supplies this time. He gathered extra water, sandwiches, a first aid kit, a rope, and stronger gloves. He also brought a small backpack for carrying some treasures if he needed to study them. He knew he could not take everything, but he wanted to learn more about the vault and its contents. By mid-morning, Liam set out on the trail again. The mountains looked different in the sunlight. Shadows moved slowly over the rocks, and the wind was cooler than the day before. He followed his own map carefully, stepping over streams and pushing through tall grass. The journey was tiring, but excitement kept him moving. After about 2 hours, Liam saw the cabin through the trees. It looked the same as yesterday. The roof was moss-covered, and the windows reflected the sunlight. Liam felt a mix of fear and curiosity. He did not know if anyone else had found the cabin, and he had to be careful. He moved slowly, avoiding loud steps on the rocks. Liam entered the cabin quietly. He checked the floorboard first. It was still in place, hiding the hidden staircase perfectly. He lifted it and climbed down. The vault looked the same as yesterday. Gold coins and jewels sparkled under his flashlight. The shelves were neatly stacked, and nothing seemed disturbed. Liam felt relieved and amazed. He went to the pedestal in the center of the room. The small box with the golden key was still there. Liam picked it up and examined it again. The key was finely made with strange symbols etched on it. He wondered what it could open. He also remembered the maps and letters he had seen yesterday. Some maps showed mountains, rivers, and villages that did not exist anymore. Liam realized that this vault was more than just wealth. It held history. Carefully, Liam opened a few more boxes. He found old coins from faraway lands. Some coins had faces of kings and queens, and others had animals and symbols he had never seen before. He took notes in his notebook, drawing pictures of the coins. He wanted to learn more about them. Liam also found a few small jewels. They were bright and colorful, but he did not touch them much. He wanted to study them carefully before doing anything else. While examining the vault, Liam heard another sound. This time it was very faint. It sounded like wind moving through the trees above the cabin. Liam paused and listened. He realized he had to be quick. If anyone came near the cabin, they might find the hidden staircase. He decided to focus on the most important task, understanding the golden key and the maps. He spread the maps on a flat surface. Some maps were very old with faded ink, but he could still make out the shapes of mountains and rivers. One map had a mark in red ink near the mountains. Liam studied it carefully. The mark looked like a small cross or a symbol for treasure. His heart beat faster. Could it be that the vault was part of a bigger secret? Liam also found letters wrapped in cloth. They were written in neat handwriting, describing travels across distant lands. Some letters mentioned hidden treasures and secret vaults. Liam realized that the person who had built this vault had planned carefully. They had left clues, but only someone patient and clever could find them. Liam felt proud of himself for discovering this place, but he knew there was more to learn. He checked the steel boxes again. Some had locks and some were open. He used the golden key on one of the smaller locked boxes. It fit perfectly. Inside, he found a small journal. The journal had pages filled with notes about different treasures, maps, and secret paths. Liam read carefully. The author had traveled far, hiding treasures in safe places, including this vault. The journal explained how to find more treasures, but it was written in riddles and symbols. Liam smiled. This was like a real adventure story, and he was part of it. While reading, Liam heard another sound. It was faint but different from the wind. Someone was moving outside. He froze and listened. The footsteps were slow, deliberate, and careful. Liam's mind raced. He could not see the person yet, but he realized someone might have discovered the cabin. He hid behind a shelf, holding his flashlight low so it would not shine through the floor. The footsteps stopped near the cabin door. Liam held his breath. The person looked around and moved closer to the table. Liam watched silently. After a few minutes, the person shook their head and left quietly. The door closed behind them. Liam waited a long time to make sure no one returned. His heart was still racing. The mountains were full of surprises, and he knew he had to be careful. After the person left, Liam decided to explore more of the vault. He found a small trapdoor in the corner. It was locked with a simple mechanism. Liam used the golden key and the lock clicked open. The trapdoor led to a narrow tunnel. Liam shone his flashlight inside. The tunnel went deep into the mountain. It smelled cool and damp. He realized that the vault might be part of a larger system of hidden rooms. The golden key could open other doors too. Liam felt a mix of excitement and fear. He could explore the tunnel, but he also knew it might be dangerous. He needed a plan. He decided to mark the tunnel entrance on his map. Tomorrow he could come back with a rope and explore it safely. For now, he focused on the treasures he had already discovered. He carefully collected a few items to study later. He took a small notebook, some coins, and a piece of a map. He put them in his backpack. He did not take too much. The vault was valuable, and he wanted to respect it. Liam knew he had to be responsible with such a discovery. As the sun began to lower in the sky, Liam knew it was time to leave. He climbed back up the hidden staircase and replaced the floorboard. The cabin looked quiet and ordinary again, hiding the secrets below. Liam stepped outside and breathed in the fresh mountain air. The wind moved through the trees and birds flew across the sky. It felt peaceful, but Liam knew the adventure was only beginning. On the walk back down the trail, Liam thought about the journal, the golden key, and the tunnel. He realized that the vault was part of a bigger story. Someone had spent years hiding treasures, leaving clues, and protecting secrets. Now Liam had found them, and he felt a responsibility to understand the full story. By the time he reached his home, the sun had almost set. Liam felt tired but excited. He carefully placed the coins, notebook, and map pieces on his desk. He looked at the golden key. It was small but powerful. It had opened a door to adventure and mystery. Liam smiled. Tomorrow he would go back and explore more. For now he rested, but his mind was already planning. He wanted to understand who had built the vault, why it was hidden, and what secrets lay in the tunnel. The mountains had given him a gift, and he knew he had to be careful, patient, and clever. This was the beginning of a journey that could change his life forever. The next morning, Liam could not wait to return to the cabin. The golden key weighed in his pocket as he packed his backpack carefully. Today he would explore the hidden tunnel. He brought extra water, a flashlight, a rope, and his notebook. He also took a small hammer and gloves just in case he needed them. Every item had a purpose. Liam felt both excitement and nervousness. The mountains had secrets, and he was about to uncover more. The trail to the cabin was familiar now, but it still challenged him. Streams crossed the path, and rocks sometimes wobbled under his feet. Tall trees lined the trail, their branches swaying in the morning wind. Liam kept his eyes on the path and his mind on the cabin. After about 2 hours, the cabin appeared through the trees. It looked peaceful, quiet, and ordinary. Yet Liam knew what lay beneath it was extraordinary. He entered the cabin quietly. The floorboard was in place, hiding the staircase. Liam lifted it and descended slowly into the vault. The treasures below gleamed in the sunlight, filtering through the cracks above. Gold bars, coins, and jewels sparkled. But Liam's focus was on the small trapdoor in the corner. Yesterday he had discovered it and seen that the golden key could unlock it. Today he would see what lay beyond. Liam approached the trapdoor carefully. The lock clicked open as he turned the key. He lifted the trapdoor and shone his flashlight into the tunnel. The tunnel was narrow and smelled cool and damp. Stone walls lined the path, and roots from the mountain above grew in some cracks. Liam took a deep breath. He had no idea how long the tunnel was or what dangers it might hold. He tied the rope securely to a sturdy metal hook near the entrance. Safety first, he thought. Liam stepped into the tunnel. The air was cold and smelled of wet earth. His flashlight revealed rough stone walls and a floor that sloped downward slightly. Small puddles reflected the light, and the sound of dripping water echoed through the tunnel. Liam felt a thrill run through him. He was exploring a hidden world few had ever seen. After walking for a few minutes, Liam noticed marks on the wall. Symbols similar to those on the golden key were etched into the stone. He paused and sketched them in his notebook. They looked like clues left by the person who had built the vault. Liam wondered if the symbols would lead him to more treasures or to another secret room. He followed the marks carefully, making sure not to miss anything. The tunnel widened slightly, and Liam saw wooden beams supporting the ceiling. The builders had taken care to make the tunnel strong and safe. Liam admired the effort it must have taken to dig such a long path inside the mountain. He felt connected to the person who had created it. Whoever they were, they had been clever, patient, and careful. As he walked deeper, Liam discovered a small side chamber. The walls were lined with old boxes and crates. Some were dusty and broken, while others were still locked. He used the golden key on one of the smaller locks. The box opened to reveal a collection of old scrolls and maps. Liam studied them carefully. The scrolls described mountains, rivers, and valleys that no longer existed. Some had instructions for finding other hidden vaults similar to this one. Liam's excitement grew. He was holding history in his hands. Liam continued down the main tunnel. The air grew colder and water dripped from the ceiling. His boots splashed in small puddles, but he did not mind. He was focused on discovering what lay at the end of the tunnel. The golden key felt heavy in his pocket, almost like it knew its purpose was not yet finished. After walking for what felt like half an hour, Liam saw a faint light ahead. He moved closer and discovered a stone door. Symbols similar to those in the vault and on the key were etched into the door. Liam smiled. He had a feeling the key would fit. He carefully inserted the golden key into the lock. It turned smoothly and the door creaked open. Beyond the door was another room much larger than the vault. The walls were lined with chests, boxes, and tables covered with maps and documents. Liam's flashlight reflected off polished surfaces and gold coins scattered in small piles. This room was clearly another part of the hidden vault system. Liam's heart raced. He had found more treasures, and they were incredible. Liam walked slowly, examining each item. Some chests contained rare coins and jewelry. Others held old books, journals, and letters. Liam realized the person who had built this place had carefully organized everything. Each chest had labels, maps, or symbols to guide a finder. Liam felt amazed at the thoughtfulness and intelligence of the builder. He opened one of the journals carefully. It described travels across distant lands, secret vaults, and treasures hidden in mountains, forests, and even rivers. The author had recorded every detail, ensuring that the vaults could be found but only by someone patient and clever. Liam felt proud of himself for finding this hidden world. While exploring, Liam noticed a small chest in the corner. It was locked, but the golden key fit perfectly. He opened it to find a set of old coins, sparkling jewels, and a small wooden box. Inside the box was a folded map. Liam carefully unfolded it. The map showed a mountain range with a series of red X marks. Each mark seemed to indicate another hidden location. Liam realized this was just the beginning. The vaults were part of a larger system, and he held the key to uncovering them all. Liam paused and thought carefully. He could explore more immediately, but he knew he had to plan. He could not carry everything in one trip. The treasures were valuable, and the mountain tunnels were complex. He decided to take notes, study the maps, and plan his next visit carefully. Every decision needed to be smart and safe. As Liam turned to leave, he heard a faint sound echoing in the tunnel. It was soft but deliberate. Someone else was nearby. He froze and listened. The sound moved closer. Liam ducked behind a table and held his breath. The footsteps paused near the stone door. A shadow appeared on the wall. Liam stayed very still. After a few tense minutes, the footsteps retreated. The tunnel was quiet again. Liam realized that the mountains were full of surprises and that he had to be careful. He decided it was time to return to the cabin. He carefully closed the stone door and retraced his steps through the tunnel. Each step echoed slightly, but he moved slowly and quietly. At the end of the tunnel, he replaced the trapdoor in the vault and secured it with the golden key. The room looked as though nothing had happened. Liam felt satisfied. He had explored the hidden tunnel, found another secret room, and discovered more treasures and maps. Climbing the stairs back to the cabin, Liam paused to catch his breath. Sunlight filtered through the windows, making the wooden floor glow. He sat on the edge of the cabin for a moment, looking at the trees and mountains outside. The wind moved through the branches and birds flew across the sky. Liam felt a deep sense of wonder. The mountains had given him an adventure and a secret world. On the walk down the trail, Liam thought about the journals, maps, and treasures. The hidden vault system was larger than he had imagined. He realized that the person who built it had planned carefully, leaving clues for someone clever and careful enough to find them. Liam felt a responsibility to respect the secrets he had discovered. By the time he reached home, the sun was setting. Liam placed the coins, journals, and map on his desk carefully. He looked at the golden key and smiled. It had opened doors to a hidden world, and it would guide him on future adventures. Liam knew this was only the beginning. The mountains had more secrets, more vaults, and more mysteries waiting to be uncovered. As he lay down that night, Liam could not stop thinking about the tunnels, maps, and treasures. His mind raced with ideas for exploration, careful planning, and discovery. He knew that the next visit to the mountains would be even more exciting. The golden key, the hidden tunnel, and the secret rooms had given him a purpose. Liam felt ready for the challenges ahead, eager to uncover more secrets hidden deep in the mountains. The morning sunlight streamed through Liam's window, warming the small room. He had hardly slept the night before, thinking about the hidden tunnel, the secret room, and the treasure maps he had discovered. The golden key rested on his desk like a promise of adventure. Today, Liam decided he would study the journals and maps carefully before returning to the mountains. He needed a plan, and patience would guide him. Liam opened the first journal. Its pages were yellowed with age, and the handwriting was small but neat. Every page was filled with notes about distant lands, hidden treasures, and careful instructions for protecting them. The author had been wise, patient, and clever. Liam read each sentence slowly, making notes in his own notebook. He wanted to understand the patterns, the paths, and the meaning behind the symbols etched into the key. Some of the journal entries described how vaults were connected. Tunnels, secret doors, and hidden rooms formed a network across mountains and valleys. Liam realized that the treasure in the cabin was just one of many. The red X marks on the map he had found earlier were not random. They showed other vault locations. He felt a rush of excitement. The mountains held more secrets than he had ever imagined, and he now had the chance to uncover them. Liam noticed a section in the journal that mentioned challenges. The author had written that only careful explorers would find the treasures. There were puzzles, hidden switches, and secret codes. Liam studied these pages carefully. He had to think logically, observe everything, and not rush. This adventure was not just about gold or jewels. It was about discovery and patience. After hours of reading, Liam made a plan. He would return to the hidden tunnel tomorrow, take more notes, and explore the smaller side chambers he had not fully examined. He would also follow the symbols on the walls to see if they led to more rooms or hidden passageways. Liam felt ready. He packed his backpack with water, snacks, gloves, flashlight, rope, and a notebook. The golden key was safe in his pocket, ready for the challenges ahead. The next day, Liam set out early. The mountains greeted him with cool air and birds singing in the trees. He followed the trail carefully, remembering each step from his previous hikes. After 2 hours, the cabin appeared through the trees. It looked ordinary, yet Liam knew the wonders hidden beneath it. He entered quietly, lifted the floorboard, and descended into the vault. Liam approached the trapdoor and opened it with the golden key. The tunnel smelled damp and cold. He tied the rope to the metal hook and carefully entered. The narrow path led him deeper into the mountain. Water dripped from the ceiling and roots grew through cracks in the walls. Liam kept his flashlight steady, observing every detail. Symbols etched into the stone walls guided him like a trail of clues. After walking for some time, he reached the larger hidden room he had discovered yesterday. He carefully examined the chests, boxes, and tables filled with treasures, maps, and journals. Liam studied the maps with the red X marks and compared them with the journal entries. Some marks were near rivers, valleys, or mountain peaks. The author had left hints, guiding explorers who were observant enough to understand. While inspecting the chests, Liam discovered a small compartment he had not noticed before. Inside, there were several coded letters. The writing was unusual, with symbols and numbers instead of words. Liam recognized the pattern from the journal. The author had used these codes to hide important information. Liam took out his notebook and began decoding them slowly. Each symbol matched a clue from the maps or a note in the journal. Hours passed as Liam worked carefully. Slowly, he decoded a message that revealed another secret vault nearby. This new vault was hidden in a cliffside cave far above the valley. It was only accessible by climbing, and the author had left detailed instructions for explorers who wanted to reach it. Liam's heart raced. The mountains held more treasures, more mysteries, and more history than he had imagined. He realized this was not just an adventure, it was a journey through time. Liam also found notes about protecting the vaults. The author had warned that others might search for the treasures, so the clues were hidden and subtle. Only patient and clever explorers would succeed. Liam felt a mix of pride and responsibility. He knew that what he had discovered was precious and he wanted to respect the legacy left behind. He carefully documented everything in his notebook. After studying the journals and maps, Liam explored the smaller side chambers in the hidden room. He found old chests filled with rare coins, gems, and documents. Some chests contained ancient tools, small statues, and items from distant lands. Liam realized that the author had traveled far, collecting treasures and keeping them safe in hidden places. Each item had a story, and Liam wanted to learn them all. While examining a chest, Liam heard a faint sound. Water dripping, or perhaps footsteps? He paused and listened carefully. The sound moved slowly, deliberate, but did not seem dangerous. Liam relaxed, realizing it was probably the tunnel itself echoing his movements. Still, he stayed cautious. The mountains had secrets, and he had learned that patience and careful observation were necessary to uncover them safely. After hours in the hidden room, Liam decided to return to the cabin. He carefully closed the compartments and replaced the trapdoor. The treasures remained hidden, just as the author had intended. Liam climbed the stairs, feeling a mix of excitement and responsibility. The cabin looked ordinary again, hiding the incredible secrets below. On the trail back down the mountain, Liam thought about the new vault hidden in the cliffside cave. He realized that reaching it would require careful planning, climbing skills, and safety measures. He needed ropes, proper gear, and perhaps another backpack for supplies. The adventure was becoming more challenging, but Liam felt ready. The thrill of discovery motivated him, and he was determined to uncover the secret safely. Back at home, Liam spread out his notebook, the journals, and the maps on the table. He reviewed all the decoded messages, sketches of symbols, and clues about the cliffside cave. Each piece of information was valuable. Liam carefully marked paths, symbols, and potential hazards. The mountains were full of surprises, and he wanted to be fully prepared before attempting the climb. He also thought about the responsibility of knowledge. The author had hidden these treasures for a reason. Liam knew that sharing the locations carelessly could put them at risk. He decided to continue documenting everything for himself, respecting the legacy left behind. The adventure was not only about treasure, it was about history, discovery, and patience. That evening, Liam checked his climbing gear. Ropes, harness, gloves, and sturdy boots were ready. He packed extra water, snacks, and a first aid kit. He wanted to ensure safety at every step. The cliffside cave vault would be a challenge, but he felt confident. The golden key had opened doors to treasures, tunnels, and maps. Now it would guide him to the next hidden vault. Liam also thought about the journey itself. The mountains had tested him, taught him patience, and rewarded careful exploration. He felt proud of what he had accomplished. The journals, treasures, and hidden rooms were incredible discoveries, but they also represented the wisdom of someone who had carefully planned everything. Liam felt a deep respect for the person who had created the vaults. Before going to bed, Liam placed the golden key on his desk. It was more than a tool. It was a symbol of adventure, discovery, and careful exploration. He felt ready for tomorrow's climb. The mountains had more secrets waiting to be uncovered, and he knew that patience, observation, and respect for history would guide him. Liam went to sleep with excitement in his heart, dreaming of the hidden cliffside cave and the treasures it held. The next morning, Liam woke up early with excitement and determination. Today, he would climb to the cliffside cave and uncover the vault hinted at in the journals and maps. The sun had barely risen, and the sky was painted in soft orange and pink colors. Liam packed his backpack carefully. He included extra water, snacks, climbing ropes, gloves, a first aid kit, flashlight, and his notebook. The golden key rested safely in a small pocket, ready for the next discovery. The trail to the cabin was familiar now, but it still tested Liam's endurance. Rocks shifted under his feet. Streams crossed his path and branches brushed against his jacket. The mountains were alive with birds singing and leaves rustling in the wind. Liam felt a mix of excitement and focus. Every step brought him closer to the cliffside cave and the secrets hidden within it. When Liam reached the cabin, he paused to take a deep breath. The wooden structure looked ordinary, hiding the incredible treasures below. He lifted the floorboard and descended carefully into the vault. The treasures sparkled in the light of his flashlight. He checked the trapdoor to the tunnel and opened it. The narrow path smelled cool and damp, but Liam moved forward confidently. He followed the symbols etched into the walls, guiding him like a map made by someone clever and patient. After walking through the tunnel for some time, Liam reached the side chamber where he had found the scrolls and coded letters. He studied the decoded messages once again, confirming the location of the cliffside cave. The instructions were precise: a narrow ledge, a steep climb, and a hidden entrance. Liam felt a surge of determination. This was the ultimate challenge, and he was ready. He carefully climbed up the mountain using his ropes and harness. The path was steep and rocks sometimes slipped under his feet, but Liam stayed focused. He paused occasionally to rest and take notes in his notebook. The mountains were beautiful, with sunlight reflecting off distant peaks and birds flying across the sky. The challenge made the journey even more thrilling. After a long climb, Liam reached a narrow ledge. According to the journal, the hidden cave entrance was nearby. He looked around carefully. Behind a large rock formation, he noticed a faint outline of a stone door partially covered by moss and vines. Liam's heart raced. He had found the entrance. He tied his rope securely to a strong rock, took a deep breath, and approached the stone door. The symbols on the door matched those on the golden key. Liam inserted the key into the lock. It turned smoothly and the stone door slowly creaked open. Inside was a small chamber, lit by sunlight filtering through a crack in the rocks above. Liam's flashlight revealed shelves, chests, and boxes filled with treasures similar to those in the cabin. Gold coins, rare gems, and ancient documents filled the room. The air smelled cool and earthy. Liam stepped inside carefully, studying each item. Some chests contained maps, letters, and journals describing the adventures and travels of the person who had built these vaults. Others held coins and jewelry from distant lands. Liam realized that this cliffside vault was even more valuable than the first one. It contained not only treasures but also knowledge and history. He approached a small table in the center of the room. On it lay a leather-bound journal, more polished and carefully preserved than the others. Liam opened it gently. The pages described hidden vaults across mountains, rivers, and forests. They included instructions for protecting treasures and clues for explorers who were patient and careful. Liam realized that this was the culmination of all the secrets he had discovered. While reading, Liam noticed a small chest tucked in the corner. It had a unique lock. The golden key fit perfectly. He opened it slowly. Inside were small boxes of jewels, gold coins, and a folded map. Liam unfolded the map carefully. It showed a network of hidden vaults, tunnels, and secret rooms throughout the mountain range. Each red X marked a location waiting to be discovered. Liam smiled. The adventure was far from over, but he had reached a milestone. Suddenly, a faint sound echoed from outside the cave. Liam paused. It was soft but deliberate. Someone was moving near the entrance. He hid behind a large chest, holding his flashlight low. The sound moved closer, then paused. After a tense moment, it faded away. Liam realized that the mountains were full of surprises. He had to stay cautious, patient, and aware. After the sound passed, Liam explored the remaining chests in the room. Some contained coins from distant kingdoms. Others held small statues, tools, or rare artifacts. Liam took notes carefully in his notebook, drawing maps, symbols, and descriptions. He wanted to remember everything. The journals had taught him that careful observation and documentation were essential for understanding the treasures fully. Liam also discovered a small tunnel leading deeper into the cliffside. It was narrow and damp, but the journal had mentioned it. He followed the path slowly, careful not to make any mistakes. The tunnel led to another chamber, smaller than the main vault but still filled with treasures. Ancient scrolls, maps, and letters filled the shelves. Liam realized that every hidden room in these mountains had a purpose. Each was part of a larger story, carefully organized by someone who had planned for decades. While examining the small chamber, Liam found a journal that described the history of the mountains and the travelers who had explored them. It told stories of bravery, patience, and clever thinking. Liam realized that this adventure was more than treasure hunting. It was a journey through history, a connection to someone who had valued knowledge, patience, and discovery. He felt honored to be part of this story. As Liam studied the journals, he noticed a final clue. A page in one of the journals described a hidden mechanism in the main vault at the cabin. It hinted at a secret compartment containing the most valuable treasures. Liam's heart raced. He realized he had uncovered almost everything, but one final discovery awaited him back at the cabin. The journals had guided him, and the golden key had opened doors to these hidden worlds. Now he would find the last secret. After documenting everything in his notebook, Liam carefully packed a few small treasures to study later. He made sure to leave everything in its place. The vault was meant to be discovered carefully, and he respected that. He retraced his steps through the narrow tunnel, climbed down the ledge carefully using his rope, and returned to the cabin. The sun was lower in the sky, casting golden light across the mountains. Inside the cabin, Liam replaced the floorboard and descended into the main vault. He examined the journals and symbols carefully, following the clue from the cliffside journal. After a few minutes of careful searching, he found a hidden compartment behind a shelf. It opened to reveal a small chest. Liam opened it slowly. Inside were gold coins, rare jewels, and a collection of maps and letters carefully preserved. This was the final treasure, the culmination of the hidden vaults. Liam's heart swelled with pride and wonder. He had discovered not only treasures but also history, knowledge, and adventure. The mountains had rewarded his patience, careful thinking, and courage. He realized that the true treasure was not only gold or jewels, but the stories, maps, and lessons left behind by the person who had built the vaults. He documented everything in his notebook, making sketches, notes, and plans for future exploration. Liam felt a deep connection to the mountains and the hidden world he had uncovered. The adventure had tested him, taught him patience, and rewarded his careful observation. The journals, treasures, and vaults had revealed a story that only someone like him could follow. As the sun set, Liam climbed out of the vault, replaced the floorboards, and stepped outside. The mountains glowed in golden light. The wind whispered through the trees, and birds flew across the sky. Liam took a deep breath. He had completed an incredible journey, discovered hidden treasures worth millions, and learned the value of patience and careful exploration. He looked at the golden key in his hand. It had opened doors to hidden vaults, tunnels, and history. Liam smiled, knowing that the mountains held even more secrets for those who were willing to look carefully. Today he had discovered one of the greatest hidden treasures of all time, and he had done it with respect, patience, and courage. Liam walked down the trail toward home. carrying only his notebook and a few small items for study. The true value of his adventure was the experience, the knowledge, and the story he had uncovered. The mountains had given him a treasure far beyond gold. He knew he would return, but he also knew the importance of patience and careful planning. As night fell over the mountains, Liam looked back at the peaks and the hidden vaults he had explored. The wind carried the scent of pine and earth. He felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The hidden treasures were safe, the journals were preserved, and the secrets of the mountains were respected. Liam had become part of a story that had begun long before him, and he would continue it with wisdom and care. The golden key rested safely in his pocket, a symbol of adventure, discovery, and the mountain's hidden wonders. Liam smiled, knowing that he had found not only treasures but a connection to history, patience, and courage. His journey was complete for now, but the mountains had more stories to tell, and Liam was ready to listen.